All right, my next guests are father and son, both directors and actors. Please welcome Mario and Melvin Van Peebles, folks. That's so funny.
How you doing?
Hey.
That's
You must be working out yourself, man.
no, that was our Vladimir imitation.
Well, I hope
The
so.
Flying
I
Negro
thought you were
Brothers.
close, but, so what's now? Did you encourage your son to get? You like this?
Yeah, it's a nice look, man.
Thank you.
That's
It's
the
a
way we're trying
clip-on.
to get you to
Sorry,
dress. Huh? Now that's the way you should dress. Huh?
He has his hair the same way.
He's got dressed for success. Same thing.
You be important, you gotta look important.
No, that looks good on you, man. I just got the whole. What's this called?
My dad told me I
Van
look
Dyke.
like a black Bart Simpson with my hair. But it makes it easy not to comb.
Now, did you encourage your son to get in directing? You probably did the first big
Well,
black film in
actually,
this
yes
country.
and no, because what happened with Mario, he was always, and when I did Watermelon Man, for example, he drew the album covers, and he had always been interested in that type of thing. So I knew the best thing, just seriously for a minute, if you encourage the kid in something, that profession that you're in, and he does make it eventually, it makes it easier for him at the beginning, but he's never sure that he did it on his own afterwards. So I did everything to discourage him. So therefore,
Meaning he didn't want to help me. That's what that means.
what can I tell you?
Well, hard-learned lessons are the best, I guess. But now you must be so proud of him with New Jack City. I mean, the film did great, right?
It did terrific. As a matter of fact, it came out 20 years to the month that Sweetback came out.
Really?
Yeah.
20 years later, his movie
You know,
came out.
Sweet Sweetback's Badass song? Y'all remember that? That's a pretty young crowd.
Yeah. But you know what I think though, there's a lot of things. I mean, we hang out and have a lot of fun. But there's a lot of things that I didn't even realize I had as an advantage, and one was for a lot of kids, especially I think minority kids, they don't get to see a really good example right there. And my dad was the boss and he was directing, and I never thought, you know, I couldn't do it because of my color or my funny hair, but if I had the talent,
Son,
do you know what I mean?
son,
Which was, what?
let's not talk about hair at this stage.
So it was really, you know, that's really cool. I mean, if you grew up as Margaret Thatcher's daughter, whether you like her politics or not, you think there's a possibility for you in politics that you have a shot at doing something like that, which is real exciting. I mean, we're one of the few second-generation black film directors here, so.
Well, I think you touch on,
There's only 4 of us anyway, so. It's like Hollywood makes a big deal. Oh, there's a whole new wave of directors. Yeah, there's 4, and there was 400 movies made last year, so we'll see.
You touched on probably what is one of the, you know, not only in the black community, but in any community, probably the big problem is the breakdown of the family. I mean, it's, if you come from that, I don't want to sound like I'm preaching here, but if you come from that place where you have peace of mind, you usually lead a healthy adult life, but the divorce rate, I think, is like 60% now. It's just crazy. So at least you had a role model. I mean, when you started.
Yeah.
Well, Mario really was a trooper. I remember once we had a show on Broadway. It wasn't doing as well as I had put up my money expecting it would do.
Yeah.
And so it was called Waltz of the Storks. So I had this great idea. I had Mario and myself, we dressed as storks. Now this, you know, it can be pretty traumatic to a young man.
I have skinny legs. We're out there in the middle of Broadway with feathers, and people are coming up, you know, oh boy, what's up with you, man? You know, you look like Super Chicken.
I'm surprised they noticed you in New York.
Oh, man, it was,
yeah.
But you know, he's a trip because he's always honest. One of the first pictures I ever did was really bad. I won't tell you the title. And the guy couldn't get it released. We'd shoot it on the weekends, and I wasn't making any money. And he couldn't get it released. That was good. But later on, after I did Heartbreak Ridge and Jaws, the guy calls me up and goes, Mario, guess what? I got the picture released now, and I put you on the poster. I'm like, oh, no. So the movie comes out, and he made it look like it was the latest thing I did.
Right.
So Dad comes to the movie, and he's sitting there, and the movie was really bad, and nothing will solve your ego for good, like 200 brothers getting up and going for popcorn on your big dying scene. You know, 200 people get up and go, yo, I'm getting some gummy bears. This ain't working, you know, when you're doing your big dying scene. So at the end of the movie, my dad says, well, good news is a movie like this won't be in the theaters but 2 days. And my,
well, I missed
and my
the
mother,
bad day. What can I
my
say?
mother says, that's not so bad. At least you didn't kill any animals. So had some very different parents.
Did it make 2 days?
I think it made 2 days,
It
yeah.
made 3 actually.
All right. All you got to do is open it. You know that.
Oh, boy, it was...
Now,
Anyway,
Melvin, you got out for a while, right? You got out of the arts and went to Wall Street. For
Yeah,
a
well,
while.
Wall Street, what happened was
You're a
I can
broker?
do numbers in my head. And I was an astronomer before, and I used to be in the military in mathematics. And a guy discovered this, and I lost a bet with him. And the vigorish of the bet, that's New York talk for, the penalty of the bet was I'd go to work on Wall Street. Well, I never thought he was going to be that chicken expletive to call me on it. Well, you know what I mean. When you fill in the blanks, you know what I mean? And so...
But he did call you on it?
Yeah, he called me on it. And so I went to work on Wall Street. And I went down, and I understood 2 phrases the first day, and that was come in and sit down. That's all I could figure out what he was saying. And what happened was I took the test after 2 days, and of course I flunked it. And being from Chicago, I mean, that sort of annoyed me because the guy laughed. So I hired myself out as a messenger. I had to be the oldest messenger in the Wall Street.
He did. He was the oldest messenger.
And
he became one of the first brothers
and I
to
was the
receive,
first,
yeah.
and I became the first black trader on the American Stock Exchange because the next month I took the test and I passed. And then I got so successful at it, I wrote a book on.
And this was how old
Wall
were you?
Street.
40 then?
Well, that was last year. I must have been.
But to at any age get up and say, hey, I'm going to do something different, I can change, and I'm going to learn something different, I think that's great. Just to...
Well, you know what?
You're happy in films for a while, though, yourself, though. You're not jumping out right now.
This beats, I used to do other jobs, and this beats working for a living.
Tell me real
But
quick, what's
meantime,
coming
we
up
were
and
doing other
anything
stuff.
for the
What are we
two of
doing?
you?
What are we doing? I'm directing a pilot for Stephen Cannell, who sort of gave me my first
Yeah,
shot.
he's always been
Missing
behind you, right?
Persons.
On
Oh, man, he's been
Sunny
really cool.
Spoon.
Yeah.
He and Eastwood.
In fact,
have always been-
Dad played my father in Sunny Spoon.
Yeah,
he's
so you're going to work with
directing
Steve
a pilot.
again.
What else? Doing some movies.
Yeah, I'm writing one right now for HBO where I will direct and Mario will be
We switch
my
heads.
son. And then I'm writing one for De Niro's company Tribeca about the Black Panther Party with the background, which Mario will direct and star in.
Busy men. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming on.
great.
Mario and Melvin Van Peebles, folks. We'll be right back with director Michael Apted after this.